the Gary Moore Show, this portion presented by Uncle Ben's Converted Rice. The only rice guaranteed to cook fluffy or your money back. Uncle Ben's Converted Rice, the rice that's made to cook fluffy every time. And here's Gary.
Thank you, Durwood, very much, and I am so glad that you have managed to be with us at this particular moment, if you are. Because we are about to see, as I told you, the most fascinating thing we have ever had the joy of presenting in the 4.5 years we've been on the air. The subject up for discussion today is hypnotism. Hypnotism, is it real? Does it work? I can tell you from my own personal experience that the answer to both of these questions is yes, most definitely it is real, most definitely it does work. And if all goes right, you will see it here on your stage, on this stage, right before your very eyes. Now, to discuss and to demonstrate this phenomenon, we have with us today the foremost hypnotist in the world, Dr. Franz Polgar. I think before we actually have you go to work, Dr. Polgar, we better clear up a lot of misconceptions about hypnotism and explain perhaps what it is. First of all, could you tell the folks what is hypnotism, what happens to a person who is hypnotized?
What is hypnotism and what happens to a person when he's hypnotized? Well, hypnotism actually means the science of sleep. You see, the word comes from the Greek word hypnos. In other words, it's a sleep, but not the type of sleep, not natural sleep, not like natural sleep. It is artificially induced. And furthermore, when a person is hypnotized, I will remain in communication with him. And also his mind, the hypnotized person's mind, becomes very susceptible for any kind of suggestions. You see, that is how hypnotism and hypnosis is used in medicine, in psychology, for instance, to eliminate undesirable vicious habits, excessive smoking, excessive drinking, and drug addiction, and really hundreds of various nervous functional disorders.
Well, it all comes from the subconscious mind of the subject. It's your subconscious mind which is functioning, is that true?
Yes, yes.
Well, now, inasmuch as we all have a subconscious mind, I assume, can anybody be hypnotized? Anyone at all?
Well, are you challenging me, sort of?
No, but I mean, are some people more susceptible than others? Or?
Yes, yes. You see, we really don't know just exactly why one person may become an excellent subject and others perhaps don't react. Now, of course, through many years of observation and experience, incidentally, I hypnotized over 1 million people in the last 34 years. So I find that the best subjects really come from age group around 30, 35, 40, even younger. Young children, however, are very difficult to hypnotize.
Well, is the fact that a person is susceptible to hypnotism, is that a sign of weak will or...
No, on the contrary. You see, hypnosis properly used does not weaken the willpower. It's not the indication, susceptibility, not the indication that a person has a weak mind. It has a susceptible mind. Now, how do we learn? Because we are susceptible, is it right?
That's right, yes.
So consequently, the more intelligent a person is, I might say, the better subject he makes.
Well, I'd like to clear up one misconception, which is this.
Go ahead.
Can a hypnotist make a person do something that he doesn't want to do? In other words, if you are essentially a moral person, can the hypnotist make you commit an unmoral act? Or if you are a non-criminal person, can a hypnotist make you do a criminal act?
No. See, when you are hypnotized, as I told you, I will be in communication with your subconscious portion of your mind, not the conscious mind, which naturally houses the powers of logic, reasoning, and perception. But the subconscious mind somewhat would interfere if I will ever ask you to do something against your conviction or interest. I would endanger your life. If, in other words, if I would tell you, now, here's a knife, you kill someone, you would awaken, actually. The subconscious mind would interfere, and you would awaken.
I see. Well, that I think is a very interesting thing, because that's one reason I think that some people are afraid of hypnotism. They're afraid they'll be made to do something. Now, isn't it also true, sir, that you cannot give people talents that they don't have? In other words, you could make me go bang on a piano, but you couldn't make me play if I don't know how.
That's right. Of course, I might improve upon some talents, like golf players. And do you play golf, sir?
Listen, I'm going to need you. You stick around, because I can play just that kind of golf.
But, you know, I can bring back forgotten memories or abilities. Now, for instance, suppose as a child you spoke German. You might have forgotten by now, but I can bring it back to you.
Well, I see. Once learned,
That's
then
right.
you can bring
You
it
see,
back.
still
to
in the subconscious. We never really forget. Anything we forget or the evidence we forget actually goes into the subconscious portion of our mind.
Well, now, do you yourself, sir, observe any special rules for when you put people under hypnosis? Any special rules of conduct for yourself?
Well, I don't quite understand what you mean.
Well, what I mean is, I was trying to point out that I think it's necessary that the hypnotist be a person of integrity, character, in other words, or else...
Oh, yes, I understand. Naturally, I have to be good to those people whom I hypnotize, and they have to feel it somewhat. See, these people become very sensitive. If they would feel that I'm a sort of evil person, I don't think I could hypnotize them, but I think I can convince them. I can sell them the idea.
I see.
That I will not do anything embarrassing or harmful.
Well, all right, now, Dr. Polgar, that gives us a background on hypnotism. If you don't mind, I would like to try a small amount of mass hypnotism concerning Uncle Ben's rice, and then we'll see you go to work, huh?
Go right ahead, sir.
All right. This pays the bill, and it's a real great product, so I don't mind taking the time out. About this time every Friday forenoon, anyhow, I like to say a few thousand kind and informative words about my Uncle Benjamin and his rice, and how it's guaranteed to cook fluffy every time for everybody. And that's what you want, isn't it, fluffy rice? I think you know by now that Uncle Ben's is the only white cooking rice you can buy that comes right out flat-footed with a guarantee that you get what you want, which is fluffy rice. If you don't get it, by golly, you get your money back. But there's another thing about Uncle Ben's that I've been kind of keeping up my sleeve. It's a little, well, here, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at it over here. Let me show you something. Now, let's say that it's time for dinner. Say it's time for dinner. How would you like to set a dish like this in front of your family? This is a real gourmet's treat, something that is a little out of the ordinary. Chicken breasts on a bed of rice with cheese sauce. Now, all you do is put a little light cheese sauce over tender, cooked chicken breasts and rice. Now, in a fancy schmancy restaurant, they would hang a $3 price tag on that, and they would call it poulet mounet. Now, I got another goodie here I want you to look at. You could probably, well, as soon as you see it, you know what it is. But you spotted what the dish is. Chicken a la king. Chicken a la king is such a wonderful cinch to turn out. It's no trouble at all. And just get a load of how good that chicken a la king looks on fluffy rice. You see, the fluffy rice is what you need. Can you imagine what that dish would look like on gummy rice? Now, I don't have to tell you how to make various chicken dishes. You know how to do that far better than I do. But how would you like to put those chicken dishes on the table in a matter of minutes? The rice is the secret. You cook the rice ahead of time. Cook it in the cool of the morning. Then you cook your chicken a la king and chicken breasts at the same time. Then when you're ready to serve dinner, you just take the chicken and the rice out of the refrigerator, heat, and serve. Now, you probably think I've popped my cork when I say store the rice in the refrigerator. I assure you I know exactly what I'm talking about. Just take a look at this, will you? This is Uncle Ben's rice that has been kept in our refrigerator here in the studio since Tuesday when it was cooked. And just look at how fluffy Uncle Ben's rice is. Every single grain of it. So what I'm saying to you is this, that Uncle Ben's rice stays fluffy in your refrigerator. You can store it for a week, and it'll still heat up and light and fluffy, just this way. Now, do you see how you can put truly fine meals on the table for your family? So how's about those chicken dishes this weekend? You know, nowadays, chicken is a good buy because it's real cheap. Don't forget, though, Uncle Ben's rice. You need the fluffy rice, and it's guaranteed to cook that way and stay fluffy in your refrigerator. Cost you less than 2 cents a serving. Now, Dr. Polgar, we'll call some folks up here. Bob, these are all folks from our staff and from CBS offices. Bob, you want to come up? Dick Allen, you want to come out? A couple of the young ladies over here. Laura Hunt from my office. Sue Stein from the CBS switchboard. This is Dr. Polgar, all you folks.
How do you do? Would you like to be seated? You want to stay with me?
Want me to stay here?
Just here on the side.
All right.
Okay. Let me just tell you folks a few words again. As we already discussed, a person can be hypnotized only if he is willing. If you are afraid of it, please leave right now. However, I assure you there will be no embarrassment to it any time. Now, let's see. Oh, yes. Would you like to read this little story, please? I will explain just in a few moments what's all about it. And this is for you, please. Just read it exactly what's on those cards. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sort of message, I might say. A short message. Takes about 30 seconds to 1 minute to read it. I have used this many, many times on similar occasions, and they very seldom, if ever, fail. Yes, takes about 30 seconds to 1 minute to read it. Just about that long. I'll be glad to explain this to you further. I'll be glad to show it to you. There's really no secret about it. at all. Just about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Quite interesting, I think. I cannot use him. And now, friends, these people, of course, are hypnotized, if you will. Ask perhaps or wonder why, what hypnotized them. It is a suggestion contained on these cards. I'm talking to you now. Please listen to me carefully. You feel fine. I would like to assure you there will be no embarrassment to you at any time. Now, it is practically impossible to awaken these people. Garry, would you like to try it perhaps on this young lady? Would you kind of just go back of her and try to awaken her? Not yet. You're not going to awaken until I will awaken you. Hear only me. You will not awaken until I will awaken you. Talk to her, shake her, anything at all. Talk to her, shake her, try to awaken.
May I call her by name?
Anything at all. Anything at all.
Laura? Laura?
Talk to her, shake her, anything at all.
Laura?
Anything whatsoever.
Laura? She works in my office. She knows her name.
You see,
Laura?
she reacts only to me. Now watch this. Laura, I'm talking to you. Would you kindly drop your arm? And now all of you, please. Would you kindly clasp your hands? Put your fingers together. Clasp your hands, please. Clasp them. Put the fingers together, just like this. Now your hands are stuck together. You cannot take them apart. When I say 3, try to take your hands apart. You cannot do it. 1, 2, 3. Try to take your hands apart. Cannot do it. It's impossible. Your hands are stuck together. Try hard, harder. Cannot do it. When I snap my finger, your arms will fall down, completely relaxed. You can take your hands apart as well. Relax. 1, 2, and 3. Relax your whole body. And now I would like to demonstrate what is called post-hypnotic suggestion. In other words, I will awaken them and we'll try some suggestion with it. I'm talking to you now all, please. There's a chair in front of you. This chair, however, I think I'll take this one. This chair, however, will weigh, stool, 500 pounds. You cannot move it, cannot lift it. The chair in front of you, the stool, weighs 500 pounds. You cannot lift it, cannot move it. When I snap my finger, awaken, you're still asleep. Here, close your eyes. When I snap my finger, you will try to move the chair. You cannot do it. 500 pounds until I tell you differently. 1, awakening, feeling fine, smiling. 1, 2, 3. Everybody wake up and smile. Hello. Susie, right? Say, pardon me, Laura, would you kindly put this stool on the side? Appreciate it very much. Just in our way, so that what's wrong? Oh, pardon, would you kindly help her? I sure appreciate that very, very much. Just, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Someone nailed it down?
Nailed it down? I don't know. It wasn't. Try it again.
Excuse me.
Oh, he wants to do it. Just 1 second. When I snap my finger, you can do it. Try again, please. Both of you. Hard now. 1, 2, and 3. There you are. Would you kindly hold it up, please? Just 1 second. How much the chair weighs, please, the stool?
Oh, about.
Just hold it, both of you. Just 1 second. It weighs now. Hold it. 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 5 pounds only. 5 pounds only. Well, thank you ever so much.
Dr. Polgar, we are not going to stop this. This is the most fascinating thing I've seen. We have come to station identification time. If you folks will all stay here, Dr. Polgar, we'll be right back after station identification. Call your friends. Tell them to watch the next 15. Now, I love this. All right, Howard.
Uncle Ben's Converted Rice has brought you this portion of the Garry Moore Show. And don't forget, all your rice dishes taste better with Uncle Ben's, the only rice you can buy, guaranteed to cook fluffy every time. Each grain salutes you. Get Uncle Ben's rice in the large economy package today.